What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's going on with the overall market, what you should be watching for moving forward. I'm also going to talk about how the technicals are looking on SPY, Tesla, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. What's going on with the news affecting the markets, what's going on with the news affecting Tesla. But before I break anything down about all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I'm personally not a financial planner, so take none of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you are guaranteed up to 12 free stocks. The offer is in just 2 days, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, let's break down what's going on with the markets. So, over the last few days, guys, I've been moving to a new place, and I got very, very occupied. I was busy for a lot of Friday, so I had to cut my videos a little bit short. I wasn't able to upload for as long of a period of time. And then on Saturday/Sunday, I was just busy the entire day. And I decided that instead of just having a room that's just a complete mess while recording on Sunday, it wouldn't really make much sense. I prefer just cleaning everything up and doing everything in basically one day so that I could come back fresh on Monday with everything organized, everything cleaned up, and I could just start recording. So that's what I basically did yesterday. And now I'm back, guys. I'm going to continue to make my videos every day as I have been doing. So anyways, I want to break down what's happening to the chart right now on SPY and all these different tickers. Before I do that, let's talk about the news. 5 things to remember with the market is that there are cloudy days in September, which is a fact. The market tends to be a lot slower in September, as it tends to be a relatively weak month for the year. There's been some more news right over here about a potential government shutdown that could lead through more disrupted benefits, slower economic growth, and things like this. But we're still waiting for it to see if if we get any spending bill by Saturday. That's when we have the deadline. So we're just going to wait and see what this causes. Besides that, Amazon is betting big on an AI race, placing a major wager on the development of AI, which is very, very big. They're going to be investing over $4 billion in an AI company, which is once again makes chatbots that rival OpenAI and ChatGPT. And besides that, credit card companies, their losses are rising once again. They've jumped, about 1.5 percentage points from a bottom in September of 2021. So once again, guys, this is all very important news for the markets. Now let's talk about how the charts are looking so far. Looking at SPY, okay, we have a bullish divergence that's developing right now, which tells me that there's going to be a bounce coming, okay? So the market's going to bounce soon. However, I can't call exactly when just yet because at the time I'm recording this during the pre-market, we look very bearish. The market is still continuing to sink. SPY is looking very weak. So I want everyone to watch this 429 zone, very close to where this bottom was today so far. That's going to be key support. If we break below the 429, so we continue to sink hard, we're going to be watching this thing come down to the 427 area, then 425. Somewhere there, I believe the market's going to make an attempt to bounce. So watch those supports. We look bearish right now, so there's a good chance we may continue to downtrend, but there's going to likely be a bounce because on the 4-hour time frame, for example, we have a very, very interesting looking structure. And we also have a bullish divergence that is developing right now. So we're going to be looking for a bounce very soon. We're still in very oversold territory. So we could drop a little bit more, yes, but there should be a bounce coming soon. I believe that watch the supports that I called out on SPY, and that's going to likely play out for where the bounce ends up happening. And don't forget, right here, we have a bullish divergence on the 30 minutes time frame. So watch 429, 427, and 425. We should be bottoming at one of those levels, and there should be a bounce coming very, very soon. For Tesla, okay? For Tesla, this is still looking relatively weak. We're barely holding 240. I'm not seeing the same bullish divergence as I'm seeing on SPY. I mean, technically it hasn't right here, so there's actually a very small one. It's just not as convincing looking to me. And on the 4-hour time frame, it's not looking that great either. It's still looking very, very weak, not much of a divergence, and still free falling on the MACD. So Tesla still looks weak, guys. We're going to be watching 240 as our support. And let me zoom into the chart. I know this is a little zoomed out. You're going to be watching 240 as key support. If that fails us, then we have this imbalance towards 237. If that fails us, there's going to be 235 for Tesla. And below that, there's 232.5, then potentially even 230, 227. But I believe that Tesla is going to likely test this 238 area. We could come all the way down there, maybe to 235. And we'll be watching to see if buyers step in here because historically, we saw a lot of demand right here at this 235 zone right here. So we're going to be watching that mid 230 area to about 238. Watch that and see if Tesla could bounce off that. If not, then it's going to be sinking towards 230 flat. But I believe that around that range is where we're going to see some buyers attempt to step in. But I can't truly say that with 100% certainty because it hasn't bounced just yet, and it's still on a big, downtrend. It's still downtrending, still looking weak. So we're going to be watching this potentially drop a little bit more and see where we end up holding. So watch the supports I called out very carefully. That's going to be very telling. For Aapl, one of the things I told you guys is that Apple's very stationary. We're about to get a bullish cross on the PPO on the 4 hour. So if this thing starts breaking out, this could help SPY bounce soon. Uh, but the thing I want to mention about Aapl is that it's not insanely strong. It's not super weak either. It's just flat. It's been stuck trading sideways for the past 2 days. And we're likely going to be stuck between 174 to this 176 range. The high was like 177.08. But I think we're just going to continue to not downtrend, sorry, just trade sideways. And not much else is going to go on with it. There could be an attempt to get back to 176.15. If we break above this, I mean, I could see 177 and potentially 177.5. If this thing does start breaking a little bit higher, that's going to be bullish for SPY. This could help SPY and the QQQ a bit. But as of right now, it's kind of flat right now. It is trying to break out a little bit. We want to see it try to get above 175 first before we break out. But so far, it's showing some life. On the QQQ, this has a bullish divergence just like that of SPY. On the 30 minutes time frame, same thing on the 4 hour. We're about to get a bullish cross. So the QQQ looks like it's getting ready for a bounce. We're currently holding support at 357. If that breaks, I mean, 354 could be tested before we bounce because that's where we have this historical support way back here. This is where we had the support. You can see we saw a lot of buyers right here at demand. So I'm thinking either it tries to bounce in with the bullish divergence and the PPO crossover, or it could drop a little bit more towards 354 around that zone, and then we see this thing make an attempt to bounce. So there could be a little bit more downside before it bounces, or it kind of like bounces from here. Nvidia is dropping. We have that gap way down here, so we might fill this gap on Nvidia back down to this 410 area. If that fails us, then we could retest 407 and 405. But we have some buyers stepping in around there, so we're going to be watching to see how it reacts to filling this gap. Can we get a bounce off 410 to 407? If we do so, then we could see Nvidia trying to make its way back up to 420, which is where we have the 20 EMA. But I believe it's going to drop a little bit more. Might try to fill this gap before this thing makes an attempt to bounce. So watch for Nvidia to drop a bit more. Watch the previous support before we get some sort of bounce. When we zoom out of the 4 hour time frame, Nvidia is still looking quite decent because we have this potential bullish structure developing on it. It still is making a higher high in a higher low structure. So I wouldn't necessarily say Nvidia is a weak stock for the long term. There's likely a big bounce coming later on. For the short term, going into October, there could be more downside, more sideways price action. But I'm still very bullish for the longer term for the company, and I think that there's a lot of potential for it. For Microsoft, holding up quite decently. We have a bullish divergence as well. Going to be watching that 312 support as critical support in 314. We could bounce off those levels. So watch that carefully. We do have a bullish divergence just like SPY. The VIX right now is down 1.94%. One thing I mentioned on the VIX is that on the 30 minutes time frame, we have a potential head and shoulders that could be developing. And also on the daily, the VIX is at the 200 EMA. So we got this rejection so far. So we have some critical resistance at the VIX, which could cause it to drop a little bit. And that could be because of the market potentially trying to pop soon. So I do see a head and shoulders developing on the VIX so far, unless we break above 17.54, which could always happen. But even if we break it, right, we have a bearish divergence right here that's developing. So that tells me the VIX may see some downside soon. So it either pops a little bit more, gets close to 18, and then this thing rejects and starts cooling off. As we have a bearish divergence, or we have the head and shoulders playing out. It's got to be one of those two. That tells me the stock market is likely going to either continue to drop a little bit, then bounce, or it just bounces from here. So those are some important levels. I just wanted to mention that looking at the dollar, this thing is gapping up. If it starts dropping, once again, that could be bullish, but we're going to just have to wait and see from now. Anyways, guys, that's what I have for this video. I want to thank you all so much for listening. One thing I forgot to mention is that when it comes to economic data, we have the Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index about 1 hour after the market opens. I don't think it's going to be that crazy, that significant, so I'm not expecting that to affect us. We also have some Fed speakers like Cash Kari a little bit later after the market closes. But that's pretty much it for the market. SPY's options chain shows us not really a whole lot going on for today. I'm not expecting the option chain to affect us that much. We have 435 as max pain, so that's worth noting. But we don't have to close like all the way up there. I mean, I don't really expect SPY to bounce that hard, but I do believe that a bounce is coming. Either we drop a little bit more than we bounce, or I could just bounce from here. So watch the levels I called out and do what you have to do, guys. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you all so much. I'll see you guys very soon, and peace out.